Aber die Norweger waren freundlich zu uns. When you go to invade a country, you cannot expect the people to be friendly. But the Norwegians were friendly to us. Of course, they had seen what the German army did in Poland, and they were also scared.
In 1940, Rudy Tupper was a lieutenant in the German Navy. He took part in the invasion of Norway. Today, he is an engineer for an aircraft company and lives in Los Angeles with his wife and daughter. In 1940, Barclay Grant was a captain in the British Royal Marines. He too fought in Norway. Today, he lives in retirement with his wife in Sussex, England.
Some of the local Norwegian inhabitants weren't frightfully reliable. There were a lot of fifth columnists, or quislings as we call them. They were a perfect nuisance with their phony telephone calls and their cutting of our communication cables.
In the battle for Norway, the lives of Rudy Tupper and Barclay Grant came together for a brief moment. Two fighting men, one German, one British, relived that moment in history. In early 1940, Norway has a unique place in the calculations of both Germany and Britain. Germany's furnaces are dependent upon Swedish iron ore shipped through the Norwegian port of Narvik. The British would like to cut Hitler's supply line, but Norway is neutral. The fear that Britain will move into Norway draws Hitler's attention to the north. February 16, 1940. The German prison ship Altmark has sought safety in neutral waters from prowling British destroyers. On board, locked in storerooms and oil storage tanks, are 300 imprisoned British sailors, survivors of ships sunk by the notorious German pocket battleship, Graf Spee. On the night of February 16th, the British destroyer Cossack enters the fjord and frees all prisoners. The death of 7 German seamen is caused by this British action. Hitler, alarmed by British boldness and rumors of their designs on Norway, schedules an invasion of Norway for April 9th. The German plan is to simultaneously occupy ports a 1,000-mile stretch of Norwegian coastline. Oslo in the south, Trondheim in the middle, and Narvik in the north. It is the first combined land, sea, and air operation in history. Hitler's fears of British intentions are not unfounded. In late March, Britain starts secret preparations for military operations against Norway. Under Operation Wilfred, mines are to be laid in neutral Norwegian waters to cut the German supply line. Second, a force codenamed R4 is made ready to invade and occupy strategic Norwegian ports in case the Germans should interfere with the mine laying. The mines are to be laid on April 8th. By coincidence, one day earlier than the scheduled German invasion. At the same time, from northern German seaports, troops begin to depart. On April 6th at Bremerhaven, in the invasion group assigned to Narvik, and aboard the destroyer Erich Gysi, is a 21-year-old graduate of the German Naval Academy, Lieutenant Rudy Tupper.
Wir wissen nicht, wo es hingeht. Es ist ein Geheimnis. We arrived at our destroyer this morning, and now trains come with mountaineers, and we are told to take 300 men aboard our destroyer. We do not know what it is all about until we are a day at sea. Then we are told. Our spies have information that the English are going to occupy Norway. They want Narvik to get steel, and the rest of Norway too, because that is the only way the British keep our navy from getting to the Atlantic. Whoever has Norway has a big advantage to win the war. We are supposed to disembark our troops at Narvik and then go right back to Germany because we know the English will be on our heels.
At the British Admiralty, reports begin to mount, indicating a large German fleet moving toward Norway. The order goes out. Seek out the German fleet and bring it to battle. German ability to decode messages of British naval movements enable them to avoid their pursuers. Every effort to stop the German invasion fails. Along the fjord leading to Oslo, outdated forts are quickly silenced by naval and air bombardment. At Oslo, the Pedia airfield is taken at 8 a.m. By noon, 1,500 German troops with a brass band are marching through the streets of the capital city. At Trondheim, the ancient Norwegian capital, two old forts protecting the entrance to the harbor are quickly occupied. At 7 a.m., German troops have control of the city. Early morning, April 9th. Two German destroyer flotillas enter the Vesterfjord approach to Narvik. Two Norwegian ships are ordered to surrender. Their reply, "We will fight."
They start to fire and maneuver their ships. They are very clever with their ships. They go back and forth, avoiding our torpedoes, but we finally hit them. In the afternoon, we discharge our troops and equipment without any trouble. The Norwegian commander knows resistance is useless. He only has troops in training. They are very surprised, and a couple of thousand surrender to us without any hostilities.
In one day, in a single swoop, the Germans have taken all their objectives. Resistance is sabotaged by fifth columnists. Communications between units are disrupted and all countermeasures against the enemy fail. Former Defense Minister Quisling is responsible for the sellout of his countrymen, and the name of Quisling becomes a new word for traitor. April 11th. With the German occupation already 2 days old, the British invasion force finally sets out for Norway. It will land at two places, Trondheim in central Norway and Narvik in the north. In the British landing forces of R4 is a 31-year-old Royal Marine, Captain Barclay Grant.
We are at Scapa Naval Base when we got word to go to Glasgow with the utmost dispatch and store up. We don't know what it is for, but I think we are going to Norway from the nature of the equipment they are giving us. We are getting fleece-lined leather jerkins, woolly hats, gloves, and Wellington boots. Our ship's an old half-liner, half-cargo. She's from the British Indian Line, and I imagine she's something like 18,000 tons. We use the liner part for our floating barracks, and carry our guns and other equipment around in the holds. Nobody's looking at sea for submarines. We are looking in the air for planes, because that is more on our minds than anything else.
April 13th, 1940. A strike force of the British Royal Navy heads into the German-held Norwegian port of Narvik. 12:38 p.m. April 13th. A powerful British task force makes the final approach to Narvik.
The English never attack unless they are sure they are strong enough to win. They have a big fleet and excellent crews, difficult to match. The harbor is so crowded that we cannot fight in our operational order. We keep going back and forth in the fjords. Their cruisers stay far away, so we cannot reach them with our guns, though they easily hit us and then send their destroyers to finish us off. Hit so badly that we have to abandon it. We have to swim through warm oil from the destroyer, which makes me feel very sticky. As I am swimming, I see rafts taken prisoner by the English. It seems like it takes hours before I get to the shore.
The naval battle is a resounding British success. All 10 German destroyers in Narvik Harbor are sunk. However, the British do not risk a landing against the well-entrenched German troops on shore. Instead, the invasion force moves north 50 miles to Harstead to establish a base.
Ashore is slightly muddled, probably because it is the first serious operation we have taken in the war. But there aren't really any major problems, so we just try to get on with the job and keep out of the eyes of the enemy.
German reinforcements are rushed into southern Norway, while British troops land unopposed at Harstad and outside Trondheim. April 18th, the German 196th Division pushes off from Oslo, driving north to link up with forces holding Trondheim. Outnumbered and outgunned, the Norwegian troops are unable to halt the German advance. Norwegian country slows the German advance. Luftwaffe support and superior artillery give the Germans the upper hand. Within 5 days, the link in the German chain connecting Oslo and Trondheim is complete. All of central and southern Norway is now in German hands.
Obviously, you don't find Germans as bad as you expected them, do you?
Certainly no.
I was captured at Varberg by the Germans. From there, I came to Little Harbour. And we had a supper. Consisted of brown bread, gorgonzola, wine, which the Germans gave to us, cigarettes. We had half meal each day. And getting on fairly decent. And I hope the war will soon be over and we'll all be going back home.
It's a long, long way to Tipperary.
May 27th. With Polish, Canadian, and crack French mountaineer troops, the Allies move by sea for a direct assault on Narvik. This time to take it.
Take Narvik from the rear is impossible because of the mountains. We don't even bother to put up a defense line from that direction. Our mountaineers always choose the higher positions, so they will be above when the enemy approaches. The whole population has left Narvik because of the British shelling the town. They all went to their ski huts in the mountains. They know we won't give up easily. Whatever the English want, they will have to get by fighting their way through.
Troops, with no naval protection, far from Luftwaffe bases, outnumbered 4 to 1, retreat into the mountains behind Narvik. But Narvik is a hollow prize. Orders issued prior to the attack but kept secret from the troops until now call for an immediate evacuation. The reason? Allied armies have been falling back in France and the Dunkirk crisis is looming.
Evacuation is a very depressing thing. Very depressing indeed. In fact, although I realize we are having a sticky and expensive time, it is a great shock. The hoopla comes at all times of the day. The unfortunate part is that it is daylight for nearly 24 hours. We expect an alarm any time.
Only one objective remains in Norway, the destruction of Narvik's port facilities. For 5 days, the evacuation is carried out. By June 8th, all 25,000 Allied troops are aboard the transports and on their way to England. In a moment, the conclusion of our story. Grant's evacuation to England, he later fights at Singapore, Sicily, Italy, and will go ashore on D-Day at Normandy. Rudy Tepfer spends 2 more months in Norway, returns to Germany, and is assigned to submarine duty. Late in the war, he is transferred to the German Army and fights on the Eastern Front. 2 days after the Allied evacuation, Norway capitulates to Germany. With the sudden and decisive German victories in France, Norway became a lost